you know Afghanistan so terribly well. You know the foreign policy apparatus of the United States government. Why do we think that, in fact, President Trump made this move right now? Did it have to do with that aborted attempt at a discussion at Camp David over the weekend?
Well, look, I think Marty has it exactly right. Afghanistan may have been the tipping point, but there have been significant disagreements between the president and John Bolton for quite some time. Look, President Trump is a deal maker. John Bolton is an ideologue. The joke in town is there isn't a country that John Bolton doesn't want to invade. But when President Trump wants to open up discussions with North Korea, with Iran and others, and John Bolton says, no, that's the worst thing. We spent 25 years trying to bring these countries into line, and this is the opportunity to do it. Sooner or later, those clear policy differences between the president and John Bolton, as there have been policy differences with Jim Mattis and his last policy advisor, National Security Advisor Mike Flynn, and McMaster, the president's going to stick with the people that he wants to listen to and whose advice he trusts.
What is the driving force, as far as we know, of President Trump in a number of these things? In Syria, we had the situation, as you say, with Jim Mattis when he stepped down. And that was in part because President Trump unilaterally, pretty much with President Erdogan, said, let's pull our troops out of Syria. And by all accounts, General Mattis disagreed with that. We now have a situation in Afghanistan where President Trump said, you know, I really want to get out of there. Is that basically the drive impulse? He wants to pull back?
Well, David, as you and I have talked about since the days of his campaign, he said we need to get out of these stupid wars. And candidly, any Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, National Security Advisor that believes he can come in and change the president's fundamental principles about ending significant involvement in these wars, at the end of the day, as Marty said, the final decision is made by the president, not only on the policy, but on the personnel that he listens to.